Welcome back, everyone. We're having another best of 5 between the KT Panthers and Manchester Esports. And again, we saw the KT Panthers in such a close game win that first set. And before I start casting this game again, I want to thank, of course, our sponsors, the Yukon Gaming Club and the Yukon School of Engineering, for being awesome and helping us out and making this possible. And we're going again to get into this match, but again, we've switched the colors this time. We have the Manchester Esports on now sporting those nice red colors, and Kaynor Tech Panthers on those dark blues. And we're going to see Eclipse and Young Barcode again pushing up. Eclipse managing to weave the ball back and forth, but quickly denied by Tiger. We don't know who's going to win this game either, guys. It could be anyone, because this has been so close. Usually, you know, you viewers and us casters have a general idea who's going to win. But like I'm saying right now, we just got a fantastic goal, but it's odd. It's odd for the KT Panthers to not have anybody goalkeeping. So both teams are playing very differently to their usual selves, and it's good to see. It's good in some regards to see that, and it's bad in others. But I'm always down to see people trying new things, trying out new rotations and everything, and it's worked out for them quite a bit on the side of the Manchester Esports. Yeah, Eclipse now managing to just stop that little push, take out some of that aggression onto the ball, with Scorch looking to set up probably for Young. Yeah, Young is playing that back line, and usually when they push up, he'll push it into the midfield when it gets reset. The ball now ending up onto the side of the KT Panthers, trying to stop it, and he does manage to actually find some lovely positioning here. If he can push this out, if he had the Nitro, he would have been able to follow up there and probably made it into a goal, but he didn't have the Nitro. He was lacking in that. And again, here we go. We see Scorch sitting in that goal. Bunny's not going to be able to push it past him by himself. He is going to need the coordination of his team. And Scorch just managed to score. That honestly, from the angle I was watching, that didn't even look as close as it was, but he just kind of flew in there, bounced it, and it just went in. There you go. So not much I can say about that. All three of the all three of Manchester Esports, they're trying to follow up, but he was just too fast. Young Barcode setting up into this right corner. Eclipse looking for the follow-up as he doesn't manage to get the follow-up or the setup that Young was looking for. Eclipse deciding to head back into his goal there and switch out with Blaze, as Blaze still has some Nitro. Barcode falling there to Taco, and the ball getting very close to a goal, but Taco respawning and just kicking it out back into the middle of the field, making sure that, you know, that's not happening. Scorch getting a nice little setup here, but neither him nor Eclipse going to find it, and they do end up giving the ball to Manchester Esports. One going out again. Taco trying that strategy. Young's in goal. Destroy Young. Who's going to save it? Well, in this case, Scorched was there to save it. And you know what? I think the KT Panthers have learned their lesson that they need to be keeping 2 people in goal with how Manchester Esports have been playing, just trying to take out as many players as they can when they shoot. Now Eclipse and Young pushing forward, but we do see Dark stopping that in its tracks. A nice little shot coming out from Scorch. He tries to knock away Taco, and the ball's just kind of rolling in. If nobody can stop it, then that would have been a goal, but Tiger does manage to find it and stop it right there. Yeah, there we go. Scorch retaliating on Taco there, taking him out as he claims the ball for the side of the KT Panthers. And Young Barcode in the goal, nobody to destroy him as he safely just knocks it back into the midfield. Dark Tiger stopping Eclipse from that push, letting his team set back up where they need to and reset for any more attempts or attempted shots at their goal. Young jumping out of the way and letting Eclipse to keep this momentum. He tries to slow it down to make sure that they miss it, but Taco also takes this into consideration, goes for a lovely little tap there, but he isn't going to be able to find the follow-up as Scorched almost scores all the way from, I want to say that was probably about midfield. It could have been closer, actually, to Panthers' goal with another shot on the goal. It doesn't manage to hit it. These are just slightly off angle. Clip's going for a third, but that's quickly denied by Taco there. A minute left on the clock, 1-1 up from both teams. Clips taking a shot, hitting that crossbar, going in it maybe just too fast, slowing down a little bit there would have been a lovely goal. But when you're these players and you're in these heated moments, you know, you see the timer on the clock, you see the score, you just want to get it in. You just want to get that goal, and so you play maybe a bit more aggressively than you probably should in the moment. Now the Manchester Esports are closing in, but Young Barco is not going to let that happen. Not on his watch, not whilst he isn't on the respawn timer. And he goes for a nice little kick there just to try and clear it. 5 seconds now on the clock. It's going to be close here, but if Manchester Esports can find it, then that'll be the first game to them, but they're not going to be able to. And we're going to go into overtime. Scorched, letting Dark Tiger get the ball into the air there just so he could quickly just reverse the momentum onto the side of the Panthers, which is, again, you see these thought processes, and it's amazing because that shot from Young Barcode, we're going to start calling him the sniper, because that was all the way from his side of the field there. Obviously, that back bottom left nitro there, and that was, whew, that was a good shot. That's what they needed, and I don't think Manchester Esports were ready for that. Again, that was a good game. It was close. Again, best of 5 series. The first point now going to the KT Panthers, and we're going to cut it to another quick break. We'll be back in just a moment. And we're going to be getting into the second game. 1 point to KT Panthers. It's starting off like that last match, but let's see if Manchester can shut them down faster. If KT learned from their mistakes, and it just isn't going to give them a chance. As this initial goal, initial shot here looks like it might be a goal, and that was very, very close from Manchester Esports. And again, it's just one of those things. They get very close, they just get it off at the wrong angle, and it doesn't matter how good of a player that you are. If you don't hit it at the right angle, the ball is not going to go where you want it to. Funny managing to miss that, but very quickly intercepted by Mr. Taco as Young tried to push it forward, go and get some of the pressure off of his team. And it looks like that's what he's going to be able to do here if nobody can intercept him. Yeah, no, Eclipse actually takes up the mantle of getting the pressure off as Bunny finds Scorched. Eclipse setting up this middle shot with Young trying to follow up on it, but we had Taco just jumping in there, knocking it away just in the nick of time. Probably, I'd say, about half a second later, and that would have been a goal. Eclipse now pushing the ball up, going up the right side of the field. Young staying back because he knows his teammate's going to look for the setup. He isn't going to be able to find it, but Eclipse again pushing back. And if somebody can get a rotate here, it's going to look very nice for the KT Panthers, but they do decide to push back just for a moment as Eclipse rushes in. The ball now being at an interesting angle with Eclipse looking to bounce it into the middle, but he isn't going to be able to find it, deciding once again to retreat and just reset up with his team, re-coordinate. 1 in, 1 out. That seems to be the Panthers' method right now. And honestly, it's had mixed results, but it has been working for them more than it hasn't been. Scorched plays, just managing, get that out. which is what we like to see. Dark Tiger pushing forward there, and it's interesting with Taco setting up in an interesting spot. The crossbar going up, just hitting the ball a bit too high. All three of the Panthers pushed up completely here. Manchester Esports now are going to have to try and get the ball out, because Scorched isn't going to let this go. If he sees the potential for a shot, he's going to take it. And that he did. He didn't take it. And he wasn't able to find anything. And we are 2 minutes and 30 seconds left on the clock. So we are halfway through this round, and we see no goals on either side, which could mean a couple things. It could mean that, oh, never mind. See one goal on the side of the KT Panthers, putting that pressure now both on time and mentality of the Manchester Esports. We're going to be seeing them. I mean, it's looking very reminiscent of that first game. Maybe not to the extent of 5-0, but it's got to be sticking in the head. You know, this is exactly how the first set went. And I mean, if we go off the first set, the Panthers did end up winning, and maybe they want to get that 2-2 again, have those hype matches. But we will see. Scorch now hitting the ball back into the middle, getting a nice little bounce there, but Dark Tiger's not going to let Eclipse follow up as Taco pushes the ball forward. Young resetting the momentum, which is exactly what he needed to do there, to not let them push him, reset the timer there for Eclipse to get back. A nice shot coming out, but Young again being ready at that goal. Scorch jumping in. He does manage to get a nice little bounce there. Eclipse to follow it up, but he hits it just a bit too high. Scorch again following it up, trying to get that reset with Eclipse again. Back and forth, 1-2, 1-2, and they're going to keep doing that if you let them until they score. Here we see Scorch setting up for Eclipse, Eclipse setting up for Scorch, and then Scorch once again setting up for Eclipse and getting the goal. (2-0), 1 minute left on the clock. Keep saying it's looking reminiscent of that last set, but that's because it is. With the Manchester Esports look shaky. And again, they might have gotten the jitters coming off of that loss, you know, that close loss. But I don't think they should be having the jitters. That was such a close set that I think they should take it, you know. This is their first match. The Panthers have had 2 matches now on stream, or 4 if we count this set as well. So, you know, they're a little less worried. They'll take a loss if they need to take a loss, and they'll take a win and keep playing on that win, you know. Eclipse gang, one little hit there. He does have some nitro saved up to try and take a shot, but Taco's just going to stand in front of the ball. Not allow it to go through him. Young Barcode again doing exactly the same thing. Well, Eclipse and Young trying to push it in. It does end up in the center field here for Bunny to try and follow up. 10 seconds left on the clock. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. And it does look like we are going to see a goal on this last second. Maybe. No. So close from Manchester Esports there, getting that last second goal. We still haven't had one. I'm looking forward to it. And we're going to head into another break for the third match, with it being 2-0 to the KT Panthers. Wow, what a second set. It's just going like the first set. We are 2-0 to the side of the KT Panthers, and we might see that reverse sweep happen for the Manchester Esports. They brought 2 rounds to bring it to that final match in the best of 5. And let's see if they can do it again, because that would be absolutely fantastic, with the ball getting very, very close there. And we're going to kick this match off once again with just some aggression. You know, I have to talk to you guys at the start of the matches, bring in, and then start casting. But when these matches just start off like that, whew. Scorched pushing forward here, getting some nice air on that ball actually, and he is going to be able to delay it just enough for Taco to miss his shot, setting it up into the middle, but nobody is there to follow up, probably because, you know, that would have been a risky play. Eclipse getting some lovely aerials there, managing to push the ball out a little bit, but Dark finds it on the ground and just like, no, you know what, let's go back to the blue goal, where it should be in the eyes of Manchester Esports, and Eclipse is denying that. So again, it's a game of Rocket League. It's very back and forth. Taco going for a shot there, and Young Barco trying to stop it, but he just clips the top right of his car and the ball falls into the goal. Unfortunate for the side of the KT Panthers, but Manchester Esports are chuffed. Absolutely chuffed with that, to be honest. Eclipse going in, and like I was saying at the start of this game, we saw this last game. We saw 2-0 on the side of the KT Panthers, and then Manchester Esports brought it back to 2-2 on the series, and then we saw essentially an overtime with 2 seconds left on the clock. No, sorry, 4 seconds left on the clock before we saw a goal on a 3-3 score to bring it to 3-4 for the KT Panthers. So if we see another close set like that, whew, it's going to be a good one, guys. We have 2 very evenly matched teams right now, and that's exactly what we want to see. We want to see these matches. Scorch going for a shot, hitting that up the bar there, just going a little bit too high as Tiger and Taco push forward. Eclipse denying it with a nice little bicycle kick. Scorch looking to follow up, but it doesn't matter because you see Dark just right behind him, kicking that ball back and letting it bounce. Again, Taco and Scorch trying to contest this ball away from each other, with Eclipse getting a nice little bounce, but it doesn't matter because, again, Dark is just on top of Eclipse. You could almost say that he eclipses his shadow. Yeah, no. Dark and Taco now trying to contest this ball away from Scorch, but Dark actually managing to find some headway there, but he isn't going to be able to find it for long as all 3 of the KT Panthers jump in there, not letting them score. 2 minutes left on the clock. 0-1 to the side of the Manchester Esports. And they might be about to make it 0-2. We could see anything happen here with Eclipse pushing forward. It doesn't look like it though, but Taco is quickly setting up for his team. Dark looking for that shot, but being denied once again by Young Barcode. The defense on both teams right now is just doing really well. They're trying to deny as much as they can, which is not leaving them much chance to be overly aggressive. Right now, there is a serious lack of balance between aggression and defense. They're one extreme to the other. And that's why we're seeing a lot of these games where it's all 3 of them pushed, and then as soon as something bad happens, or if it looks like it's about to turn itself on its tail, if they all run back to their goal. And like we just saw, if we actually look at the positioning of the KT Panthers right now, we see Scorch decides to push. Eclipse is looking for something, but he doesn't have the boost, and he does end up just not being able to score or to defend that goal. Because that over-aggression is started to turn. They all started to run back, but it was too late because the boost was denied. And that comes down to your awareness, your map awareness, you know, knowing what nitro has been taken, when it's going to respawn, when it was taken. Don't seem like big things, but when you're playing in an environment where those things can make or break a game, then, you know, you start to think about it a lot more. Scorched pushing up into this right corner now. Eclipse just sitting in that middle. It's a nice little setup, but it was too far back for Eclipse to capitalize on, with the ball getting closer. 44 seconds left on the clock. And again, Manchester is looking like they might actually take this first, or this third game, the first point of this series towards them. Young Barcode now looking for the defense. Dark tries to push forward. Bunny looking for it, but Eclipse is just trying to push the ball in, find something for his team. Taco following right beside him and denying it, as he's been doing all game. It's not been looking good for them in that sense of, if one of them pushes, there's always one or two people on the side of Manchester Esports denying them. And 1 second left on the clock. We might be able to see a goal here from somebody, but we're not, and that's going to be 1 point going to the Manchester Esports. Are we going to see it again, guys? Are we going to see the 2-2 fifth game almost overtime? I'd like to, and if you'd like to, then I'd love to see that in chat. But right now we're going to go to another quick break as we get into the fourth match of this series. Welcome back. We're on game 4 of the second set between the KT Panthers and the Manchester Esports. We've seen both teams fighting back and forth, and these have been incredibly even matches, just like that kickoff right there. The ball barely moves. Nice and even. Both teams hitting it at roughly the same spot on opposite ends, causing lack of momentum. And yeah, that's pretty much been these games. But more often or not, the KT Panthers have been able to find just a little bit more than the Manchester Esports in the first 2 games. Then it seems to flip on its head, and Manchester Esports last set brought it to that 2-2 with Bunny. And very nice save from Bunny there, and a very nice attempt from Young Barcode. And I want to say that was Young Barcode and Eclipse. Scorch setting it up for Eclipse. Eclipse taking the shot, and he does manage to find it. They're very much so enjoying this this 419 on the buzzer. This is the second time they scored on that exact second, and I'm starting to think it's their lucky number. Again with the kickoff, we see Dark and Scorch going in for it. The ball does end up landing in Taco's hands there as he goes to take a shot, but it's a little bit too high, a little bit too fast on the approach there. Scorched pushing forward. Taco and Dark looking to maybe try and fake something out there, but Eclipse says absolutely not. You know, tries to slow it down, let them get that boost, let them reset. Young sees a potential here with the help of Eclipse, but it doesn't matter because Scorch is going to take a second goal there. And I think, you know, the KT Panthers here, they saw that asset, they saw it go to 2-2, and they just want to cut it dry, clean and dry. You know, not let that happen again. Show that they are a force to be reckoned with in the EGFH Rocket League season. Eclipse now going in, but he decides otherwise as Bunny pushes forward into the top left corner of the blue side. Young Barcode hitting it over to the to the left side there, and it's interesting. They're playing very much in a pack mentality right now. They're all very close to each other. They know, as I was just about to say, they know that Manchester Esports loves going for those demolition picks, trying to just weaken the pack. So if they all three of them together, it becomes a lot harder. And a lot more justifiable, because if they destroy one, then the other one's just going to try and take the shot. And just like that, Taka's going to try and take the shot. But the ball got caught on top of his car. I don't know if that was intentional or if he was just trying to get it off him. Dark pushing the ball away with Eclipse trying to push forward. Young Barcode looking to reset for Eclipse, and he does manage to find it, but Taco manages to find Eclipse's spot. There we go, Scorch plays getting blown up by Taco. And again, they're only gone for a couple seconds, but then they need to get boost and they need to drive back. And if both boosts are denied, then those 2 seconds respawn times can actually end up like being 5 or 6 seconds out of the game. 2 minutes 15 seconds on the clock. 2-0 to the side of the KT Panthers, with possibly a goal coming out, but no, quickly denied by Young Barcode, and Young Barcode decides to take it onto the offense here, as he does manage to find it past every single person on the side of Manchester Esports. Young bouncing it off that corner, trying to set up into the center field for a nice little clean goal, but Eclipse decides otherwise, backing out and trying to defend for his team. Scorched maybe making a call out there that he didn't think he was quite confident in that play. And I'd be very interested to see, or to hear, communications on both of these teams and see how they differ, who's shot calling. Because from how it's been playing, Scorched seems to be the shot caller on the side of the KT Panthers. And I'd have to say Mr. Taco seems to be the shot caller on the side of Manchester Esports, but that could differ. And we did see a goal coming from Dark Tiger there, bringing it to 2-1 more for 1 minute 33 seconds left on the clock. That was good. That was a nice recover. They almost didn't get that goal, but it quickly came back and they scored it nicely. Scorched though coming in very aggressively along with Eclipse, and I thought for a second that they were going to get that goal. Scorched taking out Taco, bringing it to a 2v3, and like I was saying, when that boost is, even when the boost is up, it takes a couple more seconds to drive there, turn around, especially when the ball's at your goal. You have to make that split-second decision every single time. Eclipse bouncing the ball way higher than Taco wanted and not letting the goal go, or the ball go anywhere near the goal. And that buzzer, of course, means a minute left on the clock. One goal could completely change this game. Either way, one goal for the KT Panthers makes their chance of this not going into overtime incredibly higher. And of course, one goal for the Manchester Esports means that it's going to go into overtime or give them a chance at actually getting ahead. And this is getting closer and closer, of course, every second, and that ticks down. Scorched now pushing forward here with the side of Eclipse. He does manage to find Bunny in that demolition, but Scorched isn't going to be able to follow up here. But this could be a goal coming out from the side of the KT Panthers, and it is. Whew. And that was a very, very close goal and save from both teams here, as everybody wanted a piece of that ball. 24 seconds left on the clock. 2 goals needed if the Manchester Esports want to bring this back to a 2-2. And of course, if the Panthers win, that means that this is going to be the second set going to them, bringing them to, I believe, 3-1 over the course of the EGFH season. And it does look like the KT Panthers are going to take the second set of the game. And again, that was good. They started off extremely strong. They played aggressively. They found 2 early goals, and then they found a third later on just to seal their victory. And that was good. That was a good game. Those were good sets. Congratulations to the KT Panthers for winning both their games, and I'm looking forward to seeing the Manchester Esports work together, kind of get themselves up a bit more. Communication, get those shakes off, whatever was bothering them, because they're definitely a very potential team. And of course, that was our final game of the day. So I need to remind you all that you can catch the action every week, every single week, at 3 p.m. On Tuesdays, we have Rocket League. On Wednesdays, we have, of course, League of Legends. And on Thursdays, we have Overwatch. You can follow us at Official EGF on Twitter and Twitch for updates and announcements. I'd like to thank our sponsors, of course, always the amazing Yukon Gaming Club and the Yukon School of Engineering for helping make this season possible. I've been Navik. You can find me at Kevin Dignan, as it says in the stream title on Twitter. It's been an absolute pleasure casting for you, as always. And I'm looking forward to seeing you all on Thursday, where I will be casting Overwatch.